What's up, guys? It is Will here, back again with an amazing guest on the screen tonight. And for those who are audio only, eventually this will be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I did promise that. Lael, 1/6 Scale Man, is in the house. Lael, one of my best bros. How you doing tonight, man?
How y'all doing, man? What's going on, Will?
Dude,
what's going on?
I don't think we've ever done a show one-on-one. This is the first.
I don't think so. I think this is like the first time we did like a one-on-one, bro. It's like because it's always like a panel full of rugrats, bro.
Full of rugrats, full of crazy collectors.
Yeah, bro. Crazy collectors, bro, that talk a lot.
Yeah, it's true. Local Lou. Yeah, we're talking about you.
Local Lou.
No,
he's probably on the train. He gonna probably tell you, he gonna hit you up, be like, yo,
tag
tag
me.
in.
I'll be like, well, what the hell? What the
tag
hell?
Me in. Tag me in.
Yeah, dude, tag me in. He'll be walking on his phone through New York City.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell
yeah, man. But Lael, it's gonna be a fun one tonight, man. We got so much cool stuff to talk about. Before we do that, though, let me go ahead and address the chat real quick. Two Cothries in the house. We got Renz Talentino, Primetime Reviews. AJ Fairnot said he's ready. Awesome. Maniac UK said evening. It's a spicy time. It is It is that time. It's spicy time.
Yes, it is.
The Thor, greetings once again from the city never sleeps. There you go, NYC. Hopefully the crime's not that bad, but it's not Gotham after all. But you know, it's
true,
which we'll get into. Emmanuel Paredes, happy everybody, happy Friday. Nice. Hey everyone. Linda said my heart is going to pitter pat at WillFoxification. I don't know what that means, but I'll take it. I don't know if it's a compliment or what. I'm gonna take it as such.
Yeah.
Carlitos Way. Hello, Carlos. Carlitos, sorry. Leon Walker. Hey, everyone. Heat wave in Alaska, 40 degrees right now. Wow. That's really high for Alaska, actually.
Yeah, it is.
I would think. That's crazy. That's what they call a heat wave there.
That's their heat wave. So you just like imagine like what they're used to because your body adjusts over time. Yeah. So if that's a heat wave, I'm like, damn.
Right.
Or now it depends. Well, no, yeah, that's a heat wave because I would say like Fahrenheit versus Celsius, but I think they're Fahrenheit over
there. If that was Celsius, that shit would be hot.
Yeah,
like
really hot. That's Fahrenheit.
My math's not good, but
nah. If it was 40 degrees Celsius is indoor, like that's dangerously hot, bro. Like literally.
Right. Yeah, that's like real hot. But hey, hopefully y'all in Alaska are cool. Hopefully you mean Fahrenheit. I'm sure they do.
Definitely.
Two Ferns, what's up, everyone? Good for health. Hey, yo, what's up, man? Pablo in the house. Surfer Rosa, what's up?
What's going on?
Morning. Oh, it must be morning over there, wherever he's at.
Yeah.
Logan, Kalangi? I think it's Kalangi, Logan. We're gonna go with that. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining. Universal Key. AJ in the house. The Fair Night. Oh, Luminara's here. Hello,
Luminara. Yeah, she's the what do we want to call her? She inspired the Figure Flex, the hashtag Figure Flex.
Did she?
Yeah, she's came from her.
Muse?
Yeah, she basically came up with the whole concept, bro. So she's the one who created the hashtag Figure Flex Friday. You know what I mean? That spread like wildfire. So you should see my inbox.
Nah, dude, I saw I saw the live stream and it was pretty exciting. So it always is like you get so many people engaged.
Yeah, like it's everybody's wanting to come through and flex. So it's just like one of those things where I got to kind of like, okay, if I don't get to you this week, I'll definitely get to you next week. So and I'm trying to get Numenara on the show. Like I'm trying to get her on the show live. You know what I mean? So she can flex and she got to come on, man. She got to come on the show.
Let's get it together. Major Brent Derlin, my heart is stable, but excited to be here. Awesome. Good to hear, Major Brent Derlin. Angel said, I am vengeance, which we will talk about. We will talk about vengeance.
Yes, we are.
Oh, okay. Linda said, my heart is beating so fast in anticipation of the show. There we go. Okay. That's good. I'll take that. Ashley Chase, what's up, Ash? Let's see. Uncommon Flex, Collectible Chats. What's up? Rome Moreno, my fellow God of War statue guy. He has both these Prime ones that I have too. So
For real?
Like, yeah. So I'm like, he's the only other guy I know that has them. So Victor Rodriguez, which would you prefer, Hot Toys, Batmobile, Jazzing? Ooh, we might get into that. I want to spoil that right now.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting discussion because I can't wait to talk about that one. I definitely can't wait to talk about that one because I know which one I prefer based off of,
Dude. Layout, I don't want to bury the lead here because we need to talk about this bad boy right here. Oh, sorry. There's the wrong one. It's going to load super slow, but it's going to be there. It's like my connection was dial-up, bro.
Yeah,
we got it. Hey, we got it. Now we're not changing the picture ever because it'll load so slow. For those who are listening on audio only, Leo and I can see, and the rest of the chat can see. We're showing a picture of the Batman that just dropped yesterday. Well, Wednesday, really, because I got to see it Wednesday. The new Batman film starring Robert Pattinson, directed by Matt Reeves, and co-written by Matt Reeves. Leo, we got to talk about this, bro. By the way, no spoilers. We will not spoil anything.
Yeah, we're not going to spoil
careful.
it because I'm pretty sure everybody out there who hasn't seen it yet, we're gonna leave some space for you. But yeah, it's spicy.
Leo, give me your thoughts, bro. We got to have a dialogue about this because I think
So-
we're on the same page.
So here's my thing. When we think about this, like, and I was watching it, and mind you, I have to see it again, because number one, Regal Cinema, off of Coffee Drive near my house, y'all need to get it together because your audio was terrible. Like, I could hardly hear half the stuff that they were saying. Like, our experience in that theater was not great. So get that together, number one. But when it comes to the film, so overall, it was a good film. Overall, it was a good film. And I will say that what I love about it is it's real, like it's intention to realism, like this connection to something that you can look at and say, you know what, something like this can happen in real life. You know what I mean? Like, to see that, and it's, and they were right to basically say the comparison to Seven, it's right there. You can see it. You know what I mean? And I love that. I love the grit, how gritty it was. I love the cinematography, definitely. Again, everybody who basically didn't think that, he could pull it off as Batman, I think he did. I think he did a great job. He did an amazing job. And it's the Batman that a lot of people will want to see, especially from the detective aspect of it. I thought Zoe Kravitz did a great job as Selena Kyle. Now, I mean, the Riddler was good. He was good. Now, at times it felt a bit over the top at times, and whiny a little bit. But other than that, I did enjoy it because it was, the way he played it, I really, really enjoyed it. Of course, Colin Farrell as the Penguin. He killed that, bro.
He was good.
He killed that, bro. Like, he deserves his own show. After watching this, everybody will know he deserves his own show. Few surprises in it. Again, Selena Kyle, Zoe Kravitz was believable. Like, she was definitely believable the entire time. She was one of my picks as the top, that I saw in the film that she kind of stood out big time. Pattinson did his thing, bro. And surprisingly enough, bro, I love the suit.
Oh,
I really do. I love the suit. I love the aesthetics of the actual suit. I loved it. Times it was a bit slow. It was slow, and I think that literally I was telling Toya, because she was even looking at me, I was looking at her, and we were both fighting to stay up at times because the pacing of it in the very beginning was a tad bit slow. And sometimes, even pacing from Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 kind of got disjointed slightly. And I think there were certain scenes in this film that they could have did without. They could have cut certain scenes short. And this film could have been easily, bro, like, if they'd have done it right, it could have been easily, I would say 2 hours 15, 2 hour, it didn't have
2 hours 30 tops. Yeah.
2 hours 30 top. It didn't have to be almost a 3 hour film, because it really started feeling out a 3 hour. It started feeling like a 3 hour film. When we go in to watch films like in Endgame, we were because you're in it. Like, you're already deep in it. You're from scene to scene. You're not falling asleep because you're so interested in it, and it carries over from each act. This
Lord of the Rings too.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings too. You're already engaged. You're there. With this, I was engaged, but at certain times it would pick up. Okay, I'm all right. Let's go. Slows down. I'm like, okay, all right. I got it, because you have to follow it to know exactly where the narrative's going. But at times it was just I don't know. It was like a slow draw, slow crawl, and then certain scenes were just drawn out a bit too much. I will say this, and I have to say this off the top, because I heard two guys when we were walking out the theater. They were like, "Oh man, this Batman actually walks all over." Are we cursing on here? We can't curse.
Yeah, you can if you want. I don't care.
Oh, yeah. So this version basically S's, or, because I told everybody I was going to stop cussing. S-H-I-T.
You did make the promise.
Yeah, I did make that
I don't
promise.
Care, though. It doesn't bother me.
Well, craps. We'll say basically this version craps on The Dark Knight. They say that Matt Reeves, his version craps on The Dark Knight. I'm not going to go that far.
No,
I can't go that far. I can't go that far, especially for one movie. We've only seen one movie. I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy. I guess it is. There's going to be a sequel. We know that. But I can't say that it shits on the dark. Oh man, I said it again. I can't say that it craps on the Dark Knight. Sorry, I slipped. I can't say it craps on the Dark Knight because I'm just not ready to say that yet. My favorite two Batman, characters right now are Ben Affleck and Keaton. Keaton, I got to go with Keaton. And knowing that we're going to see Keaton again, and we're going to see them both in the same film, I just loved it because I think, though Pattinson killed it, basically as Batman, we saw more of Batman than we did Bruce Wayne. Okay, so that's what we actually got. But when it comes to the detective aspect of the character, he nailed it. Like he literally nailed it. Everything that we got a chance to see from the film, his chemistry with Zoe Kravitz I love that. But I'm just not ready to basically say that it's better than The Dark Knight. It's good. Can I say it's great? Am I willing to say it's a great film? No, not yet. And it's going to take me seeing it or watching it again to really understand where I sit as far as the film goes. You know what I mean? Because it was a lot to take in, and how and where they went at the end of the film. Watching it, it was like, was that a good choice? Or, could something else have actually been done? You know what I mean? I would have much rather see something else or the narrative go or the ending go somewhere totally different. You know what I mean? But for what it was, and also when we get into spoiler, discussions, it's like, and I guess this is not really a spoiler, but how much do we have to see, and how much do we have to know that people really hate Gotham? Like how, it's like why do we always have to have that conversation in film? How much people hate Gotham? We know that. So it's like, I don't want that, and it's not giving anything away. It's just basically saying how much certain people do, how much there's, really dread and the feeling of, there's hopelessness. How much do we have to really know that on film? You feel me? Like in a sense, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. It just felt like, you know what I mean? I put it this way. It's not saying that the film was predictable. I'm not saying that it was, but in certain aspects, it almost treaded on that line. You know what I mean? It was a thin line to where it was almost predictable. And I'm like, you know what? It could have been a totally different approach. But for what it was a good film. I enjoyed it. I just have to see it again because based on the experience that I got in this theater, I wanted to hear a little bit more. There's certain things I wanted to kind of tie together in a nice little bow. So then I can, because I didn't give it a rating yet. I haven't said, I'm not there yet to give it a rating. I'm just saying that right now it's a good film. I'm not even going to compare it to anything. I'm just saying I'm not ready to say it's, and I think it's like we talk about it. We separate these films because they're different. They're different when it comes to their approach. So we don't want to sit here and say, okay, well, this is like, oh, this is better than this, and this is why. But we got to give credit where credit is due. Like Nolan right now is at the top of the food chain when it comes to what he's given us and how cohesive the story is. Once we get more of these films, and if we get a trilogy, then then I think we can compare it and say, okay, this might be a contender for this. And when we look at we can't even actually compare to Affleck really, because he didn't get a solo film.
No,
we didn't really get a chance to see him developed. You know what I mean? So even like, it's hard to say that he's a better Batman or a better Bruce Wayne. I just liked his depiction of Batman. I liked aesthetically how he looked as Batman. But this suit was incredible. I love this suit. And it did encompass year 1 and year 2. So that's what I did love about it. I even loved I love the bike. People didn't like that, but I love the bike. So anyway, that's how I felt about it. You know what I mean? In a nutshell, I'm going to actually see it again. I don't know if we're going to actually see it again this weekend because that was a long movie, bro. That was long. But I do have to see it again. So.
Yeah, dude, and I can mostly echo your thoughts on this one because if I had to give it a rating, I'm somewhere around like an 8.5. Like I feel like that's where I am with it, which I think is pretty fair. That's like pretty much in line with the Rotten Tomatoes score. I think last I checked, it was sitting at literally an 85%.
Yeah,
which is what I feel it should be. I think part of my issue was I think maybe I set my expectations too high. Like I came in I get this is the first film of probably a trilogy, and The Dark Knight was the second film of a trilogy, so it's a little bit different. I think it is probably on the same level somewhat of Batman Begins. I'd probably take Batman Begins, but it's close. I think it's around that ballpark. So if we're making that comparison, I think that's fair. I think that's okay, it's probably around that level. But Batman Begins is, in my opinion, some disagree, the worst of the trilogy. It's not bad by any stretch. It's still really good. To me, it's like Fellowship of the Ring. Fellowship of the Ring,
weaker of the trilogy.
Yeah, Fellowship of the Ring is the weaker, in my opinion, of the three films, but it's still really good. It's still really good. It's just the other two were so good. But for me, as it pertains to this Batman, I'm with you. Pattinson killed it. I thought he was great. Zoe Kravitz was also fantastic.
Yeah, she was
amazing. I think she was really, really good. And I think she will get a figure made because I think she was just badass. The Riddler. So, like, obviously we won't go into any spoilers. Like, I really like the Riddler, but it's funny. I won't spoil anything. There was a scene or two where, like, Riddler was kind of going on monologues like villains do, you know? And then my audience was actually laughing. Like, and I was like, I don't think that's the intended impact that they were going for, you know? And I think that's where you're getting at, where they're talking about maybe being a little over the top at times. I think that's where I tend to agree. Because, like, I think the Riddler was mostly really good. But then when you kind of, peel back the curtain, he's like he's good, but like he's not on the level of, obviously no one's ever going to top Heath Ledger in my eyes probably, but he's not on that level. He's not on the level of Bane. He's not on the level of a villain like that. So I think he's there and he's good enough, but I don't know if he's going to catapult the film. I think this film is carried by a lot of good performances. Everyone's really good, but mostly, you're exactly right, Lael. One of the things I didn't quite love, there is a very, very, very little Bruce Wayne. This is a Batman film. This is not a Bruce Wayne film. This is not The Dark Knight. Like The Dark Knight was pretty much balanced it pretty well, but it was almost more a Bruce Wayne film than it was a Batman film, right? And I think with this one, it's complete opposite, which is, I guess, good because you don't want to just copy The Dark Knight. Right?
Yeah. You want to do something different.
Copy their homework, right? But I would say that, I don't know, man. I just think that the Riddler overall was pretty good, and I think Penguin was really, really good. I'm with you though on the suit. I think the suit is incredible. I really like the Batmobile in this one. It's pretty cool. I don't think it's as cool as the Tumbler, but it's still good, right?
It's still good for what it is. It's more like
it's like a Camaro or something.
It's more like a funny car, bro. It's decent for what it does. Right. It's more like a brawler. You know what I mean? Because you didn't really see it too much of anything else, but more, hands are like basically a brawler. The one thing I will say, Will, is you look when you go into a film, especially something like this that was highly anticipated. One of the most anticipated movies of the year. Everybody basically wanted to see it. I know my theater was full. I think it was almost full, but it wasn't as full. But when you're going into a film like this, most anticipated of the year, you figure that the fan reaction is going to match the anticipation. Like when you go in, like there's going to be like that wow factor. Like everybody's going to be so excited. Certain scenes is going to pull people in. Certain things are going to happen. People are just going to, there's going to be applause. There's going to be like woo, like whatever. There was none of that in my theater, bro. None.
Right.
Like literally none. And unless I missed it, there was none. And it wasn't because of the simple fact that there weren't moments that were great. I just think that they were overshadowed by the length of the film. People were tired by certain scenes, bro. Like basically like in the beginning, it was so lengthy. I was literally fighting, but then looking around to see how many people were basically engaged. But it was dope. But I think that wow factor that we look for in certain films kind of got glossed over. That's not taken away, and I don't want people, because that the film was crazy. It was I love the detective factor about it. I love the simple fact that we dove into the intelligence of Batman and how he figures things out, how he's able to figure things out. And the funny part is, like, when you're watching these films, you watch his, and Gordon was decent. Jeffrey Wright.
Oh,
Gordon,
dude, forgot to mention him. He's great.
Jeffrey Wright as Gordon was incredible.
They had a really good chemistry.
Yeah, they definitely had a really good chemistry. And that's the thing that I love. When people see it, you'll completely understand why we say that. The chemistry between him and Pattinson was incredible. But again, I think it was just, to me, I have to watch it. Maybe if I watch it in a totally different theater. I don't know if Toya want to go this weekend and watch it. We might, if we're not so tired, we'll go watch it in another theater and see. I think she said yes. Did you want to see it this weekend, babe?
Oh,
I think she said yes.
Bring it up. Toya, hey.
She said yes.
Let's do
All
it.
right.
Let's do it.
We'll go watch it. We'll go watch it.
Leo, I will say though, you have an amazing point. I don't mean to interrupt, sorry, but you have an amazing point about the crowd pleasing moments, and maybe the idea is that this isn't that kind of film because that's darker. But even the darkest film from DC I've probably ever seen, which is Joker. Yeah, like even that, the talk show scene, not exactly a crowd pleasing moment, but it's a spectacle moment. Yeah, it's just got that kind of moment where you go back and like even the crowd's not cheering at that moment, but they're like, holy shit, like. And the acting in that scene, like I don't think there's a scene like that in this film. I don't think there's a scene that you would go back. There's a car chase scene that's pretty cool, but I would say other than that, I don't think there's that scene. Like even in The Dark Knight, when the Joker is trying to get Harvey Dent, and they're going through the tunnels and stuff, and the tumbler comes in and wrecks the truck, and they're shooting rocket launchers. Like that's an incredible scene. Or the Joker interrogation scene with Batman. Like those are the type of scenes I think that can really like just iconic. We talk about Lord of the Rings, the Balrog scene, right? A Helm's Deep, things like that. Like I don't think this movie has anything like that. Even Batman Begins, I guess maybe not too. Batman Begins is kind of, so that's why I think maybe that's fair. I've seen some of the comments saying it's probably more fair to compare this to Batman Begins. I think that's a fair point. But I think overall, Leo, the film's good. Right?
It's good. Like it's a good, and people who haven't seen it, you will enjoy it. And that's why I want to go see it again, because I know that I enjoyed it. I know there's certain, and the thing is that I really loved the chemistry between. Listen, Zoe Kravitz is amazing, bro.
Oh, she's really good.
She is really good, and I love the chemistry between her and Pattinson. Like the chemistry is almost too good. You know what I mean? Between them. But you can tell that they really dove into these characters and they wanted to make something special. And she did that. She killed it. I loved her. I loved just the action scenes, and she put a lot of work into that. But yeah, I mean, all in all, it was great. And that's why it was good. And that's why I basically want to see it again, just to take it all in. Because maybe my feelings may change the second time around. You know what I mean? Maybe I may see it and be like, okay, now, because I can hear it more, and follow the scenes a bit better. I can probably digest it and say, okay, this is okay. Yeah, now I understand it. The one thing I will say though, and we're not going to spoil it for everybody else, the ending, they did something that I wish they did not do, and they did.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, was that needed? Like, it was so good without seeing it. And it's like, now it's like saying that you depend on it. You know what I mean? So I'm just, again, that's the only thing that took me out of it. But, it is what it is.
Yeah, we've gone down that road a lot. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But I don't know. But, and I do think, like, I want to highlight Freddie's comment real quick.
Will, you took yourself out. Did Will take himself out? Did WillFoxification take himself out?
One man show, bro.
One man show. I was about to carry the whole show, but anyway.
I clicked back accidentally, bro. So sorry. But I think Freddie's comment is a fair one. He's saying, is this a Dark Knight review? So like, this is a tough one because, like, for me, whether right or wrong, I think the prism, or like the what we look through with Batman franchise is the Dark Knight. We always compare everything to the Dark Knight because that's the gold standard in most people's eyes. So whether we want the film to be exactly the same, no. But I think that's what we're comparing it to. If we're looking at, like, the Dark Knight's not perfect, but it's the closest to perfect that we have for Batman. So when we're looking at a gritty Batman film, we're going to inevitably compare it to the Dark Knight because that is the gold standard. Like, and I think that can go for anything, right? It can go for Avengers. It can go for, anything that's really popular. Lord of the Rings. Anytime there's a fantasy film, we compare it to Lord of the Rings, or at least I do, or a lot of people do. But I don't know. It's a fair question. But every film is different. But I just feel like, it's hard not to compare, especially when they're somewhat similar. Like, in terms
and that's
of, like,
the thing is, like, similar in tone a bit. But see, that's what the thing is, like, purposely I try to separate. And that's why, a lot of people were going back and they were watching, like, Dark Knight, Batman, they were watching everything, you know what I mean? And I was like, I'm not. I'm going to stay away from it because I want to go in this film with a clear view on seeing something or seeing Matt Reeves' interpretation and his perspective, of this film. I didn't want to go in, with the thought of other films, and in my mind, subconsciously, I'm comparing. So I didn't really want to do that. So I tried to stay away from it as much as I could. But with that said, there were similar tones,
Right.
Just like, but then again, is when you see this, and if you look at this film and you look at, Matt Reeves' Planet of the Apes, then you're like, okay, yeah, okay, now the tone is there. We know it that this is a Matt Reeves film. We can actually see that, and you get that idea. But when you're looking at the tone, and somebody said, look, we don't, when you're looking at Marvel films, it's not like another popcorn film. This is cinema. I get that, and you're right.
I don't know that I agree with that though.
I get that interpretation of what they're saying. But you're right, like, and that's subjective depending on the person and depending on who's basically view. All things subjective. I just think that when we're talking about the Batman, and we are getting year 1, year 2, the versions of it, inklings of it. You know what I mean? Which, there was a spoiler in this movie that when we get to spoilers and we get a chance to talk about spoilers, I can't wait to talk about it because I hope this happens because they spoiled it. If it doesn't happen, I'm gonna be like, oh, come on, man, you can't just tease us like. But anyway, what I'm saying is, okay, yeah, and I get what you're saying, but at the same time, you can't rule out those particular films to say that they're not cinema, because they are, and there's certain narratives in those movies that are actually told that we follow and that we can relate to. I'm not saying that this isn't cinema. I just know that, I'll put it this way. This is the perfect Batman film. It's the perfect Batman film. If you want to see Batman in rare form, you want to see the detective aspect of Batman, which we wanted to see, this is perfect for it. Is it the perfect Batman and Bruce Wayne in rendition? No, not at all. It's not. Because we didn't get a chance to see Bruce Wayne's world as Bruce Wayne too much.
No.
And I don't want to give too much away, but again, is it the perfect juxtaposition of both? No. But it is the perfect Batman film. It is the perfect detective film. So if you were looking for that, you got it. But if you're looking for both of them, I think that's where it kind of missed a little bit.
Yeah. And I get what you mean, Leo. And I actually mostly agree with that. I mean, I do think, as we kind of wrap up our thoughts on this one, I just do think that Bruce Wayne was maybe not developed enough for me in this film. And like I said, I'm not looking for a Dark Knight replica. They had its own spin on this, right? But Bruce Wayne is really not in this movie that much. I feel like I don't really understand him that much. I understand Batman, but I don't understand Bruce Wayne, and that's kind of a very interesting juxtaposition that I'm not used to. And also with Alfred, like, again, I'm sorry to do it, but like in the Dark Knight and in those trilogy, Alfred's presence is felt. Like it's such a guiding mentor presence, and in this one, it's just not. He's just kind of there. Like it's not that Andy Serkis is bad. He's an amazing actor. He's great. But it's just the relationship. Give it time, I guess. Maybe over another couple films they'll get there. But in this film, Alfred's presence is just not really felt that much. Like, and I think
in that aspect too, though, I was looking at it. I was like, you know what? Maybe they took Alfred off the table for a reason. Because the thing is, there's a lot that Alfred knows that, again, hasn't been, there's that conversation between him and there's a lot that he knows, a lot of things going on with Alfred that haven't really been revealed. And I guess we're going to find those things out, going forward. But I think that they wanted, in this film, mainly like they did, they wanted to focus on the detective aspect of Batman and where we were going with this character. So I get that, but I agree. Like, I think, there were a lot of things that were kind of like left out in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, we could have seen that relationship between them two a bit more. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. And I don't think we got that. So hopefully, we'll see something going forward, man.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And like I said, I hope we don't sound too negative, because I think I was just expecting all-time great, and I got very good.
Yeah.
Like I think that's kind of, like I said, like I'm at 8.5, which I think most people, even the people in the comments are saying it's amazing, giving it a 9. I'm at 8.5, so we're really not that far apart.
Yeah. And I'm not even rating it right now.
Yeah, and you'll probably be around the same, I would guess. I mean, when you're done. So
yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. So, and Toya dropped a good comment. She said, agree with that, Will, but you also, with you, Leo, it's only year 2 and have some time to show more of Alfred. They do. They got 2 more films probably. Maybe even more. I mean, probably 2 of them, but this film's going to make money. It already is.
Oh, yeah. It's killing it. It's going
to make bank.
Oh, yeah. It's making money off of me.
Yeah, that's true, bro. I'll probably go see it again too. I do want to see it again. It may be a film like I said on your live stream. I think like with Joker, I appreciated that more over time.
Second view, once you saw it again.
Once I saw it again and started watching again, and I was like, man, I think this is like a masterpiece. This is like the first time I gave it a 9. I really liked it, and then I was like, this is really, really good.
Yeah.
But the more I watch it, but yeah. Leo, we're gonna stick on the Batman trend.
Let's do this
because, bro. Hot Toys is clearly sticking on the Batman trend. So they dropped this today. We're going to talk about the different variations. But they dropped this with the Pattinson Batman. It is Pattinson right now, what I'm showing on the screen for audio-only listeners, is Batman and the Bat Signal. So they released a Batman with a micro USB or battery, your choice, light up Batman signal in the sky like they use in every Batman film, right? So this is retailing for U.S. buyers at $515 for the deluxe version. Lael, this thing has a lot going on. It has PERS. It has a diorama base, also with LED light up function with micro USB, which is not included, by the way, which is awful. But I mean, they're not expensive, but still, Hot Toys, come on, you can do better than that. So, Lael, what do you think about this Batman, bro? We got an amazing head sculpt. We got a great looking suit. What do you think about it?
I think they nailed it. Like, I literally think they nailed it with this piece, bro. Now, this is... Again, we can't keep having these hit and misses, man. Because look, if you're gonna show love to him, show love to Peacemaker as well.
Peacemaker got robbed, bro.
Because Peacemaker got robbed. Like seriously, like my guy Peacemaker got robbed. Like literally. But this right here, man, this piece is solid. Like the head sculpt is solid, bro. You see Robert Pattinson right there. That is him. The way he is portrayed in this film. I love the suit. Again, aesthetically is great. I think that we're gonna, and if you look at the actual pants, I think it's fabric.
Yeah. I
think it is basically fabric material. So we're gonna get some articulation, even in the arms. We're gonna get everything that we need from this. This will probably be the most articulated Batman that we get. I think it will be. I honestly think it will be, especially this particular version of it. But I love it. I love the tones. I love the head sculpt. I love the swap out facial. I love the PERS. The cape. It looks like the cape is going to be wired.
It's got to be, bro.
It's got to be wired. So yes, I love that. Yeah, man. Like I'm in. Now, here's the thing with all the accessories, with the PERS, with the diorama base, with the light. Look at that bat bike, bro.
I know, man. That's coming soon.
Look at that, bro. Look at that. That's coming real soon. But when we look at all this. I think 515.
It's a little steep.
It's a little steep, but you get a lot, and I understand that you really, really get a lot with this. And the thing is, you got to get the bat signal. If you're a fan, you got to get that bat, because you imagine the bat signal shining and you have to get that bat signal. Like seriously, to have that bat signal the way it is, you can't. To me, it's like I always say, if there's a deluxe. In like just a regular version, I always go for the deluxe because there's so much. There's certain things I'll pass on, but this right here, bro, with I'm gonna have to get that bat signal, bro, with him. You can't pass that up.
I'm with you, man. I think if you're gonna get this, you almost have to get the bat signal.
You have to, bro.
Such a rare opportunity, because I know with Dark Knight they did do this. They did do a bat signal. I think if I remember correctly, Optical was saying they did it with John Blake, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character. I think they released the bat signal with Gordon or something. You don't get this a lot, and bat signal is such an integral part of Batman's character that you need it, man. I think you do need this. You're right. You do get a lot for $515, and at the same time, Carnage is $515, and he's just a figure, right? He's just massive.
Yeah, and you don't get a lot with him. You get a lot of like the attachable accessories,
right?
But this, you're getting the light, you're getting the diorama base, you get all the accessories for Batman. You get the head sculpts, the swap out heads. So you get a lot.
PERS,
yeah, with PERS. Now, at first, I was like, "Yo, it'd be decent if they gave us the Bat Bike with that," but I know they won't.
I know $515 with the Bat Bike. That'd be sick.
Yeah, but that Bat Bike, I gotta have that. That thing's incredible.
But bro, honestly, man, this figure is really, really good.
It's fire, bro.
It's really good.
It is.
And like, I think, man, I originally remember when I came on your show, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get the Hot Toys for this. I don't know, man. I think I will, but I don't know but I'm not going to make the decision. You know what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
I'm going to wait. It's supposed to come out at least like Q2, Q3 next year, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to wait because I'm not pre-ordering right now anyway.
Oh, yeah, no.
I'm going to wait, and I know you're probably the same. Let's wait on this one, I'd say, because, and then see how I feel, and you feel, I know you're going to get it probably, but with me, I'll feel like in maybe a year and a half when it comes out, if I still want it. But dude, honestly, the head sculpt is really good.
Bro, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's very good. Hot Toys really hit a home run here, I think.
Yeah.
The eye,
and it's sculpted too, bro.
Yeah, dude. And like the I guess it's like the eyeliner, the mascara, whatever it is, around the eyes. Beautifully done. You definitely see Robert Pattinson there.
Yeah.
I kind of want this just to have a Robert Pattinson figure. I think he's such a great actor, and you've never got a figure opportunity for him.
Yeah.
Unless you're getting Twilight figures, which I don't think is happening. So
yeah.
But
you know what though? What this is, and I hate to be mean, but when I look at him as the Batman and look at his Pattinson's hair, because they did go in more emo route.
Yeah, he's emo for sure,
bro. When I kept looking at him, to me, I thought I was watching Polka Dot Man in a suit.
Polka Dot Man,
because they both look alike, bro. From this film, if you look at Polka Dot Man,
from the actor's name,
I forget his name, but bro, they look so much alike in this film. I thought I was watching Polka Dot Man as Batman, but yo, still, I would get this. I'm definitely getting it, bro.
Dude, and honestly, man, the suit is fire. One thing, Leo, I saw people pointing out for the audio only listeners, I'm kind of zoning in here on like the abdomen section. I think people are saying that it's supposed to be like more hard plate armor and not like a mesh fabric thing. I don't know if maybe that's something they'll fix, or maybe it's for articulation. Because it still has the look of it, but it just it's like a fabric material, you can tell. And it's not the only armor is the chest plate and then like the shoulder pauldrons and things like that, and the forearms. But that abdomen section is not armor.
Nah. So I wonder if you're going to get like crouching, if it's going to be able to like if you're going to get like some torso movement, like a crunch movement. I wonder if you're going to get that.
But dude, like for audio and listeners, I'm so sorry, but like this pose, he's standing on the base here with the light up in the sky, like that. Man, they're really doing a good job selling this figure. Honestly, like putting him in a pose, like with the fabric, you can put him in a pose like this on this base on top of like he's basically scouting over Gotham. Like I think that's, and like you got interchangeable mouth plates. Like it's a steep price for this figure, $515. So I feel like you really have to love or at least really like the film. But I think I really like it. I don't know if I love it yet, but I really like it. So
check it out. I went yesterday because the other day, the 2 days. Okay, so the day before yesterday, me and Toya, we went out to Xfinity store because I just wanted to look at the phone. I was looking at the iPhone 13. I was like, you know what? Yeah. So I was like, I looked at it because I wanted to see how the cinematic camera option looked. And bro,
did they sell you? Did you walk in with an iPhone 13?
Bro, so listen. I went in and I didn't get it that day, but I went back yesterday before we went to the movies and I got it. I was like, now I'm not passing this up. So the reason why I did it though, bro, can you imagine? So let me just paint this picture for you.
Oh, paint it, bro. Picasso.
Imagine the bat signal behind him. Shining up with that cinematic camera that you basically show, and if you have the spot well lit in the dark, and bro, I have to show you it looks incredible. Like literally, it would look so incredible. I'm getting that. I got that camera like this. Here it is. Here's the iPhone 13. So I got this phone, bro, literally because the camera option is incredible. And when I saw this with that light, it is worth that. With that signal, it's worth the price of admission for this piece, bro. So $515, to me, is not bad at all. I don't think it's bad, especially for everything that you're getting. This is basically it's a DX, right?
No, but it should be.
But it should be.
It might as well be.
It might as well be a DX. That's what I'm saying. Like they're painting this as if it's a DX. So yeah, bro. Like this right here, I mean, because you can imagine, like I said, once this thing sells out, it's going to sell out. And it's going to be even more in aftermarket prices. We already know that aftermarket. It's going to go up. It's going to shoot up. But still, this, yeah, bro.
I think this will be really hard to ignore. For anyone who at least liked the film a lot, yes, I get it. It's a high price tag. But for me, Leia, I'm with you, man. For one, let me show real quick. I want to show like the standard versions and the deluxe version. Because if we look at that, right, the standard version, to me, it's $300, right? So you're getting a decent amount, but you get a very simple base. You get the accessories you need. For some, that might work really well because you're still getting most of what you need. You're getting the head sculpt, the interchangeable mouth plates. You know, you're getting the figure, obviously. But I mean, it's just when you get that diorama base, $75 is steep for a little bit of a diorama base with the light up, but that's a pretty cool base.
Yeah, bro.
With the railing and like, and then you get the bat symbol. Like if you get with the bat symbol, so the bat symbol adds what, $375 to $515, $140, something like that.
It's worth it, bro.
I think it's worth it too, man. And
that's worth it.
I think I'm gonna end up getting this layout. I think I'm gonna add this to my watch list, so to speak. Where like, because dude, you're right, man. For one, I love Robert Pattinson. I think he's great, and I think he's really good as Batman. I've even said I think he's my favorite Batman.
Yeah,
I think he's my favorite Batman, but I still like Christian Bale in totality because I like his Bruce Wayne a lot better. Yeah, and I still loved him as Batman, so I like him as overall package better. But I like Pattinson as Batman.
Yeah. Like I said, it's hard to put, Ben Affleck in that discussion because
he never got development.
He never got development. We didn't get a chance to see him fleshed out the way we wanted to. But yeah, I would agree. Like if you compare it between him and Christian Bale, like that's a lot, bro.
And Keaton, obviously, but I'm not the biggest Batman 89 guy. Like, I like it, but it's not, nothing crazy, right? So there's a lot of huge 89 fans out there in Batman Returns, which I have not seen Batman Returns yet, which I will, though. But I'm currently watching Lord of the Rings again because I bought that Legolas, and now I'm just really excited.
I'll figure that.
So we have to talk about that at some point. But yeah, but man, I think this Batman figure is really cool. So, Leo, I think you're probably in for this one, it sounds like. What about the bike? Are you going to get the bike when they announce that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably, what was the bat pod? 280? It's probably around that.
Yeah, it's probably around that much. I mean, it
might be more, honestly.
They can't tease us with this and not release it, bro. Because the thing is, and I think they're doing it specifically for a reason that we'll get into, a little later. But yeah, look at that, bro. That looks amazing. And the thing is, like, look, I'm telling you this right now, Hot Toys. You got to give us Selena Catwoman.
I think they will. I think
you have to. You have to, and give us her bike as well. We have to get 2 head sculpts on that, definitely. But yeah, they have to, bro. And I hope it's announced sooner, not later. I mean, somebody brought up an interesting point. Local Luca, he was talking about this on the show earlier. He was like, I don't think that we're going to get a Selena Cow or a release of her until closer to the time of this particular release. He said because they're competing with the already released or revealed Selena Cow that we got, that we got coming from, Dark Knight, from
Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises, yeah.
Yep.
So you know what I mean? It's competing. Now, again, I don't think it is because you're talking about a reissue or almost reissue / a new release, a new reveal of a newer figure, updated figure, that we got from this particular film. So I don't think it would. I would hope that we get that released sooner than later or revealed sooner than later, but who knows? I don't know.
That's true. Yeah, that's a very good point, though. I almost feel like they're still going to do it, kind of based on what Logan's saying here. There are also at least 5 Batmans available. That's, I think, where Hot Toys, like, that makes logical sense for them to do that, but it's almost like they don't think about that or just don't care. Like, they're just going to be like, put it out. Like, I think she will get made. I'm pretty positive. Like, I think she has a big enough role in the film, and she made enough of an impact that she was awesome, and the film's going to make a ton of money. I don't think you can ignore her. I don't. No, I think I think there's probably only 2 figures getting made from this film, and it's these 2. I think Riddler maybe. I don't know if Riddler gets made. Maybe. I think he's a big maybe. I think he's more questionable than Selena Kyle is.
Well, I think right now, I mean, considering the simple fact that we even got some third party, cats that are or companies that are releasing versions of that Riddler, like they're doing that now.
Yeah, so right. It'll get made custom one way pieces. Or another.
So it'll get made, but I think they wanted to get this out quick before somebody else jumped ahead. You know what I mean, and did it. So yeah, but we'll talk about that.
And I get what you mean, bro. And before we move on, I missed Carlos' super chat, and I'm sure he's going to be very upset with me, but nah, he'll be fine. Carlos super chat. Thanks so much, Carlos. 199 super chat. Spoiler: Thanos appears at the end. Yeah, bro. I know. Spoiler alert. I know it's been like 4 years. Okay, so Leia, I think we covered this figure pretty well. I know this is going to be a little bit of a sore spot for you, but we got to talk about the releases tonight.
Yeah.
It's not Ahsoka, unfortunately. It is two figures, and it's two versions of Harley Quinn. And let me remove this banner here and add this one. Because this Harley Quinn, they actually released both of these from Birds of Prey. They released the caution tape jacket version, then just the one they're just calling Harley Quinn, the regular, I guess you'd call it a gold suit version. Layout, man, I don't like this figure. I'm just gonna be honest. I like, and I kind of get why they did it, because I think they couldn't have used seamless legs because of the tattoos. So they kind of did the best they could with it. But it's just the smile looks weird. The legs don't look weird. Or the legs look weird. Sorry. The joints in the arms, like there's a lot, in my opinion, that's counting against this figure.
Yeah.
The head sculpt is there, but the teeth, for whatever reason, they're just, with Harley, they always seem to get the teeth too big. And I'm not sure why, but what do you think, Leia? I'm not feeling this figure. I never was, to be honest. I didn't like the movie either. So
yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the movie for what it was, for what it is. But I mean, as far as the figure itself, not something that that wows me, that I'm interested in, that I wanted, that I know I'm going to pick up. I'm not doing it at all, because those joints. Now, I let the original Suicide Squad Harley, I let that pass, because, I mean, I wanted that figure. I thought basically the accessories that you got with it were incredible. The tailoring on the actual figure was incredible. But this right here, I don't like at all.
It's a leg seam too, man. Look at that.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. I don't like it's so unsightly, bro. Like, straight up. I mean, had it been like seamless arms, seamless, then maybe we probably would. But you're right. Because of the tattoos, I don't think they probably could have pulled it off the way we would want them to. But it's definitely a super pass for me. I was not excited for it at all. It wasn't something that I wanted. It just, I mean, come on, man. Like, Hot Toys, like, seriously, what people want. And there was no hint of this coming out at all. No hint at all. They just released it, but they're teasing us with photos of the instruction manual for Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really make any sense to me at all, man. But yeah, it's definitely a pass for me. It's not something that I want.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of which version that we get.
Yeah. What about the gold suit?
Still a pass.
Yeah, I think
it's
still
better. A pass, because look, it's better, but look at those arms, bro. Like, look at those arms, bro.
Must have been the tattoos. That's why they did it that way.
I don't know. I'm good. I'm really good.
And then the shoulder joints, like, man, I'll take lack of posability over, I'll take seamless arms over that all day. I'll take realism all day. It had to have been the tattoos, because with Drax they did the same thing, right?
Yeah.
They had to make it jointed, because I guess they feel with seamless they can't put the tattoos on and have them stay and be permanent long term. So this is the only way to do it. So it's not exactly Hot Toys' fault here, because I just feel like they're kind of painted into a corner a little bit. Like, they can only do so much with the look based on the character's look. But I don't know. Maybe there is a practical way they could have done this. But I think the head sculpt's better on this one, because the teeth aren't all funky looking.
Yeah, her mouth is closed, so that one looks better. This head sculpt looks way better. But still, those joints.
Yeah.
And that's what takes me out of it. Like, those joints, there's a better way they could have acted. Even if you weren't going to give the legs, if the legs were going to be jointed, at least you just give us seamless arms. I could see something like that in this, But again, like you said, with the tattoos, maybe they couldn't do it. But I don't know. It just, to me, it's a fail. It is, and it's a pass. I'm definitely not doing it.
I do like the roller skate feet. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that features, that's good. Yeah, I mean, but still, it's a no for me. I'm sorry, Margot, but yeah. Yeah,
it's a no for me too, bro. And like I said, I didn't like the movie. I guess each their own. I did not like it at all. I think she's great. Like, I really like her in the role, but she's great in the Suicide Squad. She was even great in Suicide Squad, honestly. But I don't like her movie that much, and I never liked any of these figures. Like, I think, in my opinion, this is Harley Quinn. I think this is straight to the bargain bin. I think I think a lot of people are going to sleep on this figure. Maybe they'll end up regretting it, maybe not, but I don't think this figure is going to sell, personally.
It's definitely not something that I can see. I mean, again, there are a couple of Harley diehards that actually purchased this figure, and they'll stand for it. That's cool, but Nah, it's a pass.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's a pass for me too. So let us know in the chat what you guys are thinking about this Harley Quinn. Before we move on to the next topic, Carlos with another 99 super chat. That's big baller status, Carlos. That's 999, bro. Come on now, you're flexing on us. Hot Toys sees the Batmobile. Should Jazz Inc. cancel their project? Leo, I want to see what you think about this. It will probably be double the price of Hot Toys. Do you think Jazz Inc. should cancel the Batmobile because Hot Toys is going to do it? I think they will. And whether they should, I think they will.
You think Jazz Inc. will?
Yeah, because I think it happened with the DeLorean too, right? The DeLorean Hot Toys announced and Jazz Inc. was like, okay, never mind. That's what I heard anyway.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing, because Jazz Inc. has a chance because that the DeLorean was just a release.
Right.
You know, Jazz Inc. they're heavily in production on this. Like they're basically all in on, trying to put this piece together. They've been showing, different photos. They've even gotten, and because they're licensed to carry the IP. You know what I mean? So, of course, they're trying to actually go all in on it. They got behind the scene photos. So they have the photos, to compare it with the accuracy of the one that they're trying to release. They put up a video about it. I don't think they're going to cancel, bro. I think they're going to go full steam ahead with it.
Okay.
Because you're going to get two different. Now, the actual question is, who's going to get which version? You know what I mean? Are people going to go ahead and get the Hot Toys version? Because I think that's going to be the more affordable option versus Jazz Inc. Because, again, you're looking at what it comes with. They're getting a fully, fleshed out, Batmobile with an engine, with the effects, everything. You know what I mean? So that's going to be a bit more expensive. I can guarantee that piece is going to be expensive versus Hot Toys, which is probably just going to have the LEDs. It's not going to have, too much of any type of effects with that. So I think that's going to be the cheaper option. So with that being said, if you were going to get it, if you yourself will say, I'm going to get the Bat, mobile, and you had to compare it between this version and, Jazz Inc., what would you think? What would you get?
Dude, but you make a really good point there. I think maybe now that you're giving me more info, I think that's fair. Because if they're that deep into production, then it's almost like, why cancel it now? But unless they're going to lose a lot of money, which they could, but I don't know. I would go with Hot Toys personally, unless Jazz Inc. was just miles better, which could be possible. But Hot Toys usually nails vehicles pretty well. They're usually very good with vehicles, probably because one, it'll be cheaper, and two, I kind of know what I'm getting more. Like Jazz, I've never had a Jazz Inc. product, and I've always heard great things. But for me, like with Hot Toys, I've never actually owned a Hot Toys vehicle either, to be fair. But I've owned a lot of Hot Toys, and I know kind of the quality level I'm getting. I would probably go with the Hot Toys just to be safe. Yeah. I think so. If the Tumbler was like what, $650, something like that, $625, something like that. This might be a different time. This might be $750, $800. Like maybe that would be my guess. Maybe $750 to be safe. Yeah. Let's say that. Yeah. Little below the DeLorean because the DeLorean has a lot more going on probably. I think that's fair. What is the Jazz Inc. going to be? Maybe $1,400, like $1,500?
It's going to be up there, bro, because you're talking about now, like they're going beyond just the effect. I mean, it's sound, effects, everything. Yeah. So it's probably going to be upwards towards like almost $2,000, bro. Literally.
Yeah. See, but that's the tough part because, and that's where Jazz Inc. is in a pickle because if that's the case, even if it's better, are people going to pay twice what Hot Toys is asking? Yeah. Like that's going to be the question.
Exactly.
And I would say because if we got the
Tumbler. How much was the Tumbler? Like it's
like $640, $650, $625, something like that.
Exactly. So if we're getting a Tumbler and it's at a reasonable price, aesthetically it looks good. It's a big piece of a piece. And it's cheaper. Then the thing is, it's like people are going to look for what's affordable. You know what I mean? And I think that in this aspect, especially if you're getting the Hot Toys version of the Robert Pattinson, the Batman figure. You're getting a Hot Toys version, so you're going to also want to stick to the IP when it comes to the vehicle. Now, there's still going to be people out there that want to drop those beans for that Jazz Inc. piece. I'm not doing it because that's just way too much, bro. I know it's going to be way, way, way too much. Even though it's going to look great, but it's going to be it's going to be heavy. It's going to be a heavy piece. It's going to be big, and I think both pieces are going to be big. But it just depends. Put it this way. For anybody who's going to get it's going to be a win-win because at least you're getting it. It's just what you basically can afford. Are you going to go with the less expensive or are you going to go with the, more expensive option just because of those particular features? So it just depends on what you think. I don't know. Yeah. Me, I would probably go to the Hot Toys version because it's cheaper. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I don't have to and then on top of that spacing. We have to talk about the spacing. You know what I mean? Do you have enough space to put this in your collection? Is this something that you're going to just dive into? So, I don't know.
And it's funny because that's a really good point before I move on to the next super chat. I think, Leo, like for that one, I think even if the new Batmobile comes out and it's like $700, I think that's one I'll pass on because like I really like this Batman film, but even the Tumbler I went back and forth on for a while, right? And I love The Dark Knight, like, but the Tumbler I'm gonna get. Because I'm pretty confident in that one. But this Batmobile, I'll probably get the figure and the Batlight, but I think I'll pass on the Batmobile on this one.
Yeah.
But Sean Bean, thank you so much, Sean Bean. I appreciate it, man. Leo, I got to join one of his live streams, man. We both do sometimes. He streams, I think, on Monday nights, but I know you stream, but I think it's a little bit later. But I get so busy, and then he sends me invites, and I always want to join. But Sean Bean, thanks so much, man. He said, did they reuse the Ant-Man smile for Harley? They look a little similar. Oh, no. I feel like this one is there for those who can't pay $500 plus for an earlier version. If I get this one, I'm waiting for second batch. I think you should wait even longer than that, personally, because I think Sideshow will discount this eventually. Yes. That'd be my guess. Don't know for sure, but thank you so much, Sean Bean. That's a very generous donation. Thank you so much. We got another one, Leo. Ash Chase, super sticker, $7.99. Thank you so much, Ash. Appreciate you, man. I always got to look out for Ash because people are like, "Oh, Ashley Chase, she," and I'm like, "It's a dude, bro. It's a dude."
Because he got me because I was like saying she for the longest time, but he got me, bro. But gotta respect that.
It's Ashley Parker Angel, dude. That's what I think of. That's what helps me remember it from what's the boy band? Was it O-Town? I don't know, something like that.
I'm just gonna call him Ash.
Yeah, that's what I call him. That's how I'm
just gonna say Ash. My guy Ash.
That's what I do, man. So, Leo, I want to talk about something a little bit, I guess, kind of spicy, but I think it's more so just it'll be interesting. J&D recently announced, right, that they're going to do 1/6 scale figures and quarter scale statues. So for 6 scale figures, they have a deal with Warner Bros. So that to me tells me that I would think that Hot Toys is not going to be the exclusive 1/6 DC maker anymore. So they're saying, okay, we really like what this company J&D is doing. So we really like what you're doing with our properties. We want to see what you can do in 1/6 scale because I see you guys want to expand. My opinion, I think J&D is going to make something different than Hot Toys. I think they're going to try to outdo them, but charge more. I think they're going to make 1/6 figures that are going to be like maybe, say a Hot Toys is $275. I think a J&D might be $450. Or $500 because it might have rooted hair, maybe some not silicone, but some type of different paint job. Maybe it's a little bit superior. What do you think this means, like for collectors? Do you think this is good that we get competition, or what?
I think it's good because it's actually going to push the and innovate the competition. To be quite honest, and on top of that, you don't think Hot Toys sees how good J&D is as far as these sculpts? They see that. They see how spectacular they are, and it's going to be one of those things where they're going to be like, well, okay. And now that they know because officially they'll have the license to do it. So, I mean, what's that telling you? And then on top of that, I think that, look, I know DC is looking at these companies like, okay, we're giving the IP and a place to basically play around, and we got, characters that we want you to jump into, and you're not doing it. So maybe we need to give it to somebody else that probably would take it more seriously. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Like, I love it. And here's the thing, like, because we looked at this mirror figure because we talked about the same topic, bro, the other night. We look at this mirror, and if you look at this mirror figure, like look, bro, like, I mean, the statue, this piece, if you look at it from afar, like literally, it looks like you can look at it from a certain point and think that it's a 1/6 scale figure because of the way the body looks. The tailoring on the actual costume, it looks amazing. Like, look at it, like right there. You can see that as a 1/6 scale version of this figure. You know what I mean? But again, I think they're going to nail it, bro. I think they'll do such a good job when it comes to it. Now the thing is though, because we get limited runs with these, statues from them. So it's all in limit. Are they going to handle the 1/6 scale version the same way? Is it going to be like first come first serve?
Because that's what Ro was saying. I think they might, and that So that might appeal to the collector who's more so looking at this as an investment, like because J&D pieces are right now very strong investments. Like if you buy one, it is almost certainly going to appreciate in value. Usually double. So or at least 1.5 times. So I mean if they do these 1/6. Say they do 2,000, right? 2,000. That's still not that many. Like if you do 2,000, but they're doing DC. Say they do 2,000 of Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Right? Like that would be that figure when it sells out is going to be worth a lot more money than a Hot Toys would be.
Exactly.
Because Hot Toys, is going to reissue probably or not make it at all.
Yep. And then you got to actually ask yourself, like, again, if they're doing, because they said 1/6, but did they say articulated figures or just 1/6 statues?
I think they did. I think it's going to be articulated. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's my interpretation, at least. I know they talked about it somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's in there. But they said they're going to make quarter scale statues and 1/6 figures. But like I said, if they are able to shrink this down and make this 1/6 and have the quality remain relatively consistent, that is very tempting.
That is tempting, bro. But then again, it's like also the price tag. How much are you willing to pay?
Right.
How much are these statues exactly? How much are they going to be? That's what we would want to know, because if they give us the quality and, we know they're well capable of actually doing that and it's official, then are you willing to drop those dimes on it? Because I'm guaranteeing you, it's like, you're not going to see like $200 and $300 figures when it comes to this. Like, I think that we'd probably even tap into like more closer to like 500, like literally.
Yeah.
We probably would. So it's going to be interesting to see, bro.
Would you, Leo, I know you probably wouldn't like it, but would you be open to the idea of them doing a 1/6 statue? Like, say they put the figure in like a really cool pose like this, and it's shrink.
I would be open for that,
1/6.
bro. I would be open for that, because if they shrink it down to 1/6, it's less expensive than what you're paying for. And then on top of that, you can have maybe some articulated figures posed up next to it. You know what I mean? So I could see that happening. I could see something like that. If they did something like that, I'd be on board for that.
Yeah, because I mean that's the kind of stuff like I say, even if I would assume even in 1/6 they're going to give you rooted hair. They're probably not going to give you glass eyes and silicone, but they're going to give you a really nice sculpt here.
Yeah.
That I think, and rooted hair probably for all the figures that require it.
Yeah.
I mean, because this Mara, man, is really good.
It is.
And
That's
for the people,
people.
yeah, right. I mean, if you're a big Mara fan, like I get. It's expensive, but Optical said, is it waterproof? It should be. It should be, considering the character. But even Jazzy said easy 650, 800. I don't know if it'll be that high. We'll see. Because they do, I think they might start pricing people out. Because 1/6 version, if you're going to do that, you have to make it really limited.
Yeah.
You'd have to make it under 1,000 maybe per piece, I would think. Because that's a high price tag for a 1/6 figure. Like, if you're paying 1,000 for a quarter scale statue, that's more par for the course. But a 1/6 figure, that's Sideshow's charging what, 600 for their statues. I mean, that's so
it's gonna be interesting, bro.
But yeah, man, I think it does mean good things though, just because it means we can get competition. So they're only going to be doing DC and Warner Bros. Properties. So that's
I'm good with that. I'm good with that, because that just means at least we're getting more. We're getting, they're tapping into the IP. There's a possibility that we might get more characters, than just the usual, like more than just Batman. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
We'll start getting more. So hopefully they, if they do it right. Now, of course, if they're going to do like just 1/6 scale articulated figures and they do Wonder Woman, it's a wrap.
I think they will. I think they will.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
And imagine which one they'll do. But man, I don't know. But I do say, Brett, the movie guy, thanks so much, Brett. He said for Super Chat, give me a Jim Carrey Riddler hot toy. That would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan of that film, but I know there's a lot of fans of it.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, exactly. Brett said, "Will, you missed my Super Chat. I'm gonna have to take your seamless arms. Don't do it, bro. They're not articulated." So it's fine. Leo, I want to ask you this question too. So as we kind of look at the community expanding, like we've noticed this, right? And I think other people have started to notice it too. There's a lot of new people coming into collecting, whether that be because of COVID or just be, what's going on in the, like collecting is hot right now, not just hot toys. I'm talking about baseball stuff, sports memorabilia, all that stuff is hot. Collecting has become cooler and hotter than ever.
Yes, it is.
And I don't know why exactly. Maybe people were, cooped up in the house because of COVID and now people just have stuck onto it. But what do you think this means like for hot toys and other collectible companies? Do you think, they have to increase their production runs, or what do you think this means for them?
I mean, of course they have to, we know they would have to, increase their production run, but at the same time, quality, you know what I mean? Because you are introducing, this is introduced to a totally different audience. And like, again, the community is getting way bigger, bro. Yeah. So also because of the community getting as big as it has, there are expectations that are being set. You know what I mean? And we sometimes we set really unattainable expectations when it comes to these figures. We know that. But at the same time, we only set that based on what we know Hot Toys can do. You know what I mean? And what they can produce. especially if you give us a prototype that is far beyond what we can even possibly imagine, and you do that, but then it takes consistency. But I think that, the more the community grows, the more the innovation aspect of Hot Toys will kick in. You know what I mean? It's going to force them to really think about, what they release, how they release it, and be more patient. Take your time and not really rush and give more, give quality. Because I'm telling you, this is, like you said, the community is almost mainstream. Like literally is almost mainstream. And I think Scarlett Johansson on the Late Show took it to that level.
Yeah.
I think, Harrison Ford did the same thing, regardless. They took it to that, that level. So I don't know. It is see. We'll see how it goes, but I think it's good. I think that the more the community grows, the more it's going to force that level of consistency. It's going to force companies to evolve, and hopefully it force you to satisfy these release dates.
Yeah,
for real. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, and Leigh, I just want to loop back into this. I missed Logan's comment. Logan said that he hopes that J&D taps into Game of Thrones. I totally forgot that's a Warner Bros. Property because they own HBO. So, dude, I love my 3-0 figures. They're great, but I mean, imagine J&D Game of Thrones. That would be really cool. But anyway, see, there's so many cool Warner Bros. Properties I think that J&D could tap into that I think, dude, Pennywise is a Warner Bros. Property. They could make a 1/6 Pennywise. Yeah, I love the Hot Toys, but a rooted hair one, I'd probably be in on that too. And a quarter scale Pennywise, I'd probably like that too. I'm gonna have them in every scale at one point. But I'm with you though, Leia. Like I think the community is definitely expanding just because, and like I think it was Alvin J was saying COVID forced him to find alternatives for going out. Yeah. That was a big part of it. People were cooped up in their house. They were like, I want to do something or interact. Like, let's maybe start collecting, right?
I mean, look, you got more content creators popping in. So, it's that's just the way it is. The community is forced to grow. I mean, and the thing is, I love the simple fact that it forces people, it forces the discussion and it pushes the narrative further. You know what I mean? So I'm all in for that, bro. I'm definitely all in the development. And so again, with these companies, we have Hot Toys, you have So-So Toys, you have, J&D with statues. You basically have SSR now, a new up and coming company that basically, if you haven't seen it, bro, they're doing that Kingdom Come Superman. I cannot wait.
Oh, okay. I gotta look at that.
It's a beast. But yeah, like these companies are actually but I think that, when we think about that, because I'm damn sure, they've been listening, because on these streams we've been talking about the Kingdom Come Superman, and all of a sudden they just started releasing.
They're like, light on. They're making
Let's do it. They know people want it, so yes, give us some credit. But no, that's what I'm saying. Like they are listening to the community, though. I think all these companies are, and they're like, okay, now we know what people want. Let's try to produce and give them quality now. So I'm hoping in Hot Toys, because you slipped up with that Peacemaker. Now kind of rebound now. Try to rebound.
And I think they did with Batman. So
yeah,
it's damn good. They obviously put a lot more effort into that Batman than they did.
They knew they had to.
Yeah. It's Batman after all. But Leo, I got another topic similar to this one, right? So does Hot Toys need to incentivize us to pre-order? Because times are changing. Maybe they don't care, because it's so hard to project what their business looks like. Like it's hard to project what their numbers are, how many they're selling, whether they need to sell more, whether they need to get more pre-orders. Like, because usually the idea has always been, we need to pre-order things we want to show them that we want that, like like that. So if we don't pre-order, they don't know, and they don't know how many to make. But the problem is now, it's different for people in different countries. But in the U.S., this, you're almost de-incentivized to pre-order. Like, I mean, because the pre-ordering locks you in. It locks you in unless they delay it and you can get your NRD back, which could happen. But you're dropping 10, 20%, sometimes more NRDs, right?
Yeah.
And the head sculpt, maybe not, sometimes it changes. Like maybe you just fell out of love with that figure. Maybe there's other figures dropping at that same time. You start to panic. You're like, oh, okay, now I can't get that. So pre-ordering nowadays is very tricky. So I think, in my opinion, they do. I think they need to do like what they did with Cyborg. They give you an exclusive version with the second head sculpt with the helmet. That's a good accessory to make me pre-order.
Yeah.
That's something that I would jump on to pre-order. Say they give you, and I get what, people were a little upset about the Boba Fett thing originally. Like you have to pre-order in a certain amount of time, but if they make it worth your while, I'll do it. Like they have to, in my opinion, incentivize us, because to me, I have no incentive to pre-order right now.
No.
They haven't given me one. So because I know that when that thing is released, I can go grab one
you
if
can
I
grab
want
it. See that, and that was my point. That I think that what a lot of these companies, and I think Hot Toys is going to start doing low production runs. Like literally,
It's working for J&D.
It's working for J&D. They're going to start doing lower production runs and force people to pre-order to make that money. And then what they're going to do is once they do it and they know people will buy it, then we're going to see some of these reissues.
Then they'll reissue it.
Yeah, it's bad. But I think there's going to be lower production runs, bro, because right now, look, like us having these discussions, and all of us do, we're hurting the competition. Like we're hurting these companies because we're forcing people to understand that pre-ordering right now is not the way to go because it's going to be around. They're just going to be sitting on your money. And I'm learning that because you're sitting on my Ahsoka right now. You're sitting on basically all the figures because I paid them off, but you just have my money and I don't have the figure that I want. You feel me? So it's just like now we're pushing that discussion and people are listening. So I mean, I don't know. They're gonna have to make a decision. Maybe they might come out and say, okay, you have this amount of time to order this figure before it runs out. We're only giving you this much, so it's a low production run. Then I can see them. All right, well, yeah, maybe I'll need, especially if it's something I want. Let me pre-order it. But until then, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, and that's my thought too, man. Like I just feel like, yeah, they got to give us something to pre-order. Yeah, we're getting a great product, but that's not really enough anymore. Like there has to be either a limited edition or something that's going to make me say you only get this. Like I said, you only get this accessory if you pre-order. Like that Cyborg helmet, if you didn't have that, I think you'd kind of be upset. I think you'd be like, well, I should have pre-ordered probably because that helmet is worth it, right? Yeah. And there's just not a lot of that. Like, I mean, these things are on pre-order for 2.5 years, and it's like, why would I drop that money now when I know I can just wait? And then like, because if you let the hype die down, eventually you might not want that figure. Like when the film first comes out, that's why they're releasing Batman right now, because Batman just hit the theaters. They're expecting people to get it, to see it and love it and say, I want to pre-order that. And that's what they should. That's what they should do. But it's like, the figure comes out in 1.5 or 2 years, and at that point, do you still want it?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and that's
waiting
a
long time. A long time. So do I want to pre-order right now? Waiting? Know that I'm waiting? No. I'm good. I'm straight. I can wait.
Yeah, that's what
it may take some time, but I can wait. I'm straight.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Say it, and you know, and all these other in the U.S., like I said, it's if people in other countries have told me it's different, and that's the case. Absolutely, if you have to pre-order, then go for it. You know, but in the States, we kind of have that luxury. We can just wait. You know. There's so many other comic retailers that have it. You know, there's a lot of places to buy from nowadays.
Straight up.
So yeah, man, that's what I would say. It's a no-po strategy at this point.
No, not right now. Not unless you really want something. Unless it basically has a limited run. I mean, I know that SSR Kingdom Come Superman, it's going to have a limited run. So that's why
third party's different.
Yeah, I may have to pre-order that just to kind of just lock it in and know that I'll get one. But other than that, I'm there's a no pull right now, especially for me. I'm just not interested.
It's a no pull, but I'm with you on third party, like the Final Fantasy figures from Game Toys. I've pre-ordered all those because I know I have to, because they will sell out and they will go up in price. Exactly. And I know I want them, so like I have to put my faith in them. You know, third party's different because they do limited runs.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, Leo, I got one more topic for us tonight, this evening. This is something I know you're typically like, you are quarter scale man now. So, you know, you are quarter scale man now. You're mostly 6 scale man, but you're a quarter scale man.
Speaking of which, because I just got that message from Underground that my quarter scale Mando is going to be shipping on, or it's actually, I think they're going to be shipping out on the 18th. So I'm like, oh, okay.
See, dude, that's gonna be you're now quarter scale, man. So
yeah, well, you know, I mean that'd be the only quarter scale that I'm saying I'm going to get.
Wait, you get Darth Vader next, probably. So,
yeah, if they, we'll see.
They might make another one. I don't know. But Leo, I want to ask you though, should we care about mixing scales like when displaying figures and statues? Because to me, it's like I thought about this because this kind of. Me buying Legolas kind of made me think of this, right? Yeah, because I have Prime 1 Sauron, which is quarter scale. Legolas from Infinity Studios is 1/2 scale. So if you want to display them together, they're not the same scale. So there's not consistency there, right? Yeah. But at the same time, I kind of thought of it like this. You're a big football fan. I thought of an analogy, like, for example, people will remember when Adrian Peterson was drafted, right? On the Vikings. At the time, they had Chester Taylor, who was very good. He was a very good running back. And at the time, I was younger, and I was like, hey, Why would you do that when you have Chester Taylor? Because you take the best player available. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
sometimes you would miss out on pieces that are really, truly exceptional because you want consistency, right? Like, you're missing out on greatness because of like a perceived sense that you have to be consistent in scale. So I don't know,
That
do
you
you
have to
feel the same about that?
That's why I'm very selective about what I get.
Right.
Because the thing is, I keep my statues with my statues. I keep my 6-scale figures with my 6-scale collection. You know, I normally have my statues, you know, displayed a certain way, or, you know, just to keep it, you know, within that. But again, like mixing scales, I really don't think there's a problem with it because, you know, but here's the thing. I don't think a problem. It depends on how you want to display it, how you want it to look. If you're not displaying it next to your figures, then it's not going to look as awkward as you think. If you just have a place to do it, then you're good. Me, myself, I display my statues away from my 6-scale figures because I just don't want that mess. I don't want that jumbled up mess. You know what I mean? Everything has a theme, a story to tell, and I'm good with that. You know what I mean? I'm completely fine with that. I think the only figures you can probably get away with something like that is if there was an Ant-Man or a Wasp next to a quarter scale.
That's
whatever.
true, actually. That's
you know what I mean? Then
yeah.
you'll be fine with something like that. But other than that, no. I know how to basically manage that, so I'm good.
Yeah, and with 6-scale figures, I think it's I think it's all about display and space. If you have a limited amount of space and you're like, hey, I have one section for Lord of the Rings, for example, like I get it, right? Like I get it where you kind of want to move it. If you have a little more space and you could put Sauron on one end and Legolas somewhere else, like that would be cool too, right? But if you have Hot Toys, for example, it might look a little awkward. Yeah, I totally, that's why I get both sides of it. Like where if you have, say, Mando and then you have heavy infantry Mando and then you have a quarter scale Mando next to him.
Yeah.
I get that. That's kind of where I think it's a tug of war almost, because like you don't want to miss out on great things, but at the same time you want a clean display, organized, clean, right? Display.
Definitely.
So I don't know. It's a really good.
It's a really good thing, but I mean, again, I don't think it's
no wrong answer.
Yeah. There's no wrong answer because the thing is, it's like you get what you love, and you know, I get pieces based on what I can gravitate to what I think is going to look great. You know what I mean? Like with that quarter scale, again, I got that because it's going to take the place of a statue that I would have got through Hot Toys. I mean, through Sideshow. But I just said, you know what, nah, and I wanted to have something in its place, so that's why I got it. Now, once I get it, who knows? We'll see.
That's true, bro. We're going to find out. But Leo, I want to hit this one last super chat before we wrap up tonight.
Yeah, go ahead.
Chris C dropped, he said, thanks so much, by the way, Chrissy. I appreciate it, man. $5. Thank you so much. They need to figure out faster production schedule referring to Hot Toys. If I order the new Batman figure today, I should have it by September to October, not 2+ years. That's tough, yeah. Like, I would agree in principle, but it's just a matter of, like, Hot Toys, their production. I don't know. That's why I'm worried. If they speed up production, do we lose quality? I don't know. And I'm not willing to sacrifice that. Like, I'd rather wait.
That's the worry. I don't want to, you know, take your time if you're going to give us something great. Don't speed it up if it's going to look terrible. Right. So I don't want that. No.
And with that Batman, it looks so good right now.
It does look good, bro.
Yeah,
it does look good. So just take your time and just give us something good. Take your time with Oscar Reeves. Take your time with Phoenix Shan. Take your time with all of them. We're good.
Yeah, I'm with you. But I totally get what you're saying, Chris. I understand both sides of it. It's just with production like that, and we don't know how many they're making. Like it's so hard to say. Like they might make 10,000 or 20,000. I don't know. But it's so hard to say based on the figure. But Leo, thanks so much for joining me, man. Is there anything that you got coming up on your channel that you want to talk about?
Man, just take your position on Sunday. That's going to be interesting because, like I said, it's just going to be, that's basically titled, it's suspension of disbelief, and it's for a particular reason. But yeah, other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like it's that we got that coming. Of course, Comic Book Talk with Friends on Monday, where we're going to go full spoiler on the Batman. So if you haven't seen it by this weekend, sorry, you don't want to watch the show. And of course, we got, take your position. I mean, Say What on Wednesday. I don't know if we'll be doing Uncivilized Scoundrels next Sunday because Mario has a lot going on with family. So we have to see how that goes. Shout out to Mario. And then we'll be back here for Figure Flex Friday next week. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, dude, thanks so much for joining me. And
Yeah,
for
man.
us guys, like another great episode in the books of Lights, Camera, Collect. We try to keep this one pretty short and sweet.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, man, it's always fun doing one-on-ones because we do the big panels and those are always so fun. But sometimes it's good just to have a one-on-one combo, you know? Like
Hell
it's
yeah.
a good change of pace. So I think it's fun. But we could do layout Collectors Mingle on Sunday at 8. Yeah, so we'll always do that. It's fun. And then
that's the spicy show.
That's spicy, bro. Always.
That's
always
like super
fun.
spicy, bro.
Dude, and Leo, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to be on the posing thing with you.
Yeah, on Sunday.
But I'm just trying to figure. I got to figure out my setup because I don't really have like the setup to pose right now. Like it's just with
bro.
This,
you gotta figure you want to be in there with. I mean, because Robert Meyer Burnett's going to be there as well. So there's going to be a lot of banter back and forth. So even if you just pose Pennywise, you don't have to do too much, bro.
I'll
it's
pose
not
Pennywise. Bro.
When we do it, there's no rhyme or reason, and there's nothing that you really have to do. Like you just we're just doing suspension of disbelief as an option, but it's nothing that you really have to do. So you don't have to worry about it. Just come in and just enjoy it, but it'd be fun.
All right, man. It'll be fun. But thanks so much for joining me, Leo. And thank you so much to the chat, man. All you guys out there are amazing, seriously. And Leo, like I said, one of the best dudes in collecting, no doubt about it. We've been together since the beginning, bro. So,
since day one, bro. Like since day one, since it dropped. Like that's the fun part.
And it's crazy that we've never done a one-on-one stream together. So
I know. One of the books, bro. We gotta do some more.
I know we gotta do it again, man.
We gotta do some more, man.
We got Optical's crazy ass on here. Now we got Leo. Who knows who's gonna be next? We got Leo for sure. We gotta do it again, man. But guys, thanks so much for joining. Appreciate it as always. Always catch this show. It'll be at 9:30 Eastern time every Friday. It'll be a fun one. Thanks so much. Everyone have a great weekend. And hope if you haven't seen the Batman yet, go check it out.
Go check it out so we can spoil that shit for you.
Yeah, we're gonna spoil that shit.
We need to.
Not tonight though. But
not tonight, but we will.
That is all for tonight, guys. Thanks so much for joining. See you next time.